Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. Born into slavery, long before Harriet Tubman was born, her great grandmother was seized from her home in Africa. The kidnappers packed Harriet's great grandmother into a small wooden ship with hundreds of Africans and sent her to the United States. Once she arrived, the trader who had enslaved her sold her to the owner of a large farm called plantation. Harriet's great grandmother was now the human property of a man she had to call master. All of her children and grandchildren were enslaved too. Their enslavers forced them to do hard labor and sometimes punished them cruelly. They received no pay on meager food and housing that was no better than that of a farm animal. Many of them were never taught to read and write. Enslaved people had no freedom to go where they wanted. And sometimes they were not allowed to marry or raise their own children. Members of enslaved families could be also could also be sold to the different enslavers, breaking up the family. Dreams of escape. Harriet was born around 1820. Like all enslaved children, she could not run and play. She worked all the time, but sometimes enslavers whipped her away anyway. When she saw two of her sisters, Harriet was terrified that she would also be sold and have to leave her family. Harriet's life was harsh, but she had dreams. People called aboliti- uh, abolitionists had begun to speak out against the injustice of owning other human beings. Some abolitionists helped enslaved people escape to northern states or to Canada. People escaped to northern states or to Canada where slavery was illegal. Harriet dreams of living as a free woman in the North. Enslaved people went to get great lengths to escape to freedom. Some shipped themselves north in boxes. One man, Henry Box Brown, nearly died during his escape when the box he was in was turned upside down for hours. Brown made it to Pennsylvania, a free state and freedom, after 26 hours in his box. One light-skinned enslaved woman, Ellen Craft, disguised herself as a sickly white man. The enslaved man who accompanied her was actually her husband, William Craft. The Crafts traveled by train and steamship and reached Philadelphia on December 25th, 1848. When she was still a girl, Harriet tried to help an enslaved man who was trying to escape. When the overseer threw a metal wedge to stop him, it stabbed her in the head. Harriet almost died from the wound for the rest of her life. She had headaches and scissors. Uh, scissors because of her injury. Years later, Tubman started planning her own escape. She wanted her husband, a free black man, to join her. He refused, but Tubman was determined to become a free woman. One day, Tubman's slaver died. She knew that people the man had enslaved would be sold. It was time to go. She and two of her brothers ran away, but soon after they left, her brothers turned back. Tubman kept going. Tubman made it to home of an abolitionist woman who had offered help. The woman fed Tubman, let her sleep, and directed her to the next safe place. When Tubman reached that house, the people there directed her to her next stop. The secret network of safe homes was called the Underground Railroad. To escape, Tubman walked 100 miles alone through unknown land. She traveled at night and hid during the day. Finally, she arrived at border Pennsylvania. She was free.